Okay. So today's training is about growth mindset. The growth mindset. Particularly, this is a training, when we were making it, I was thinking about my first year in network marketing. And it was at that time when I really realized that for me as a networker, the biggest thing that I really wanted to achieve in network marketing was growth. Tell your neighbor growth. Tell your neighbor growth. It's a Monday, people. We have to be excited. I'm imagining if the CEO was here today, I don't think this would be the same excitement we'd have, right? Tell your neighbor growth. Today's training is about growth. And I'm going to share with you what my personal assessment of growth is. Now, for many of us, when I started network marketing, this is what I thought growth was. I thought it's a linear graph going upwards, shooting 100%, no distraction, nothing, no disorganizement. And honestly speaking, I know it's contradicting to say, but this is not growth in network marketing. For me, I believe growth in network marketing has its ups and downs, right? There are the high moments, and then there are the low moments. And understanding that at some point, there will be highs in your network marketing business, and there will be lows, is now when you start to achieve growth. How many of you feel you're growing right now? By show of hands, you're growing. Put your hand proud if you're growing. Put up. Perfect. How many of us, with those hands that are down, don't feel like you're growing? You don't feel like you're growing. It's okay. It's not a crime. Okay. Let me ask again. How many of us feel like we're growing? By show of hands. So for the hands that are down, they don't feel they're growing. The big question is why. Tell your neighbor whose hand was down why. Ask him why. Do you understand the definition of growth? Now, for me, I genuinely believe as long as you're not at your before, you've already grown, right? From the time you bought that package, think about the person you were when you bought that package. That network marketing package that was given to you, they told you, welcome to network marketing. I don't believe you're the same person unless you started. Okay, how many of us started last month? By show of hands. How many of us started last month a business? How many of us started last week? Okay, how many of us? Put up your hands for those who started last week. I want to congratulate you. Let's clap for the people who started last week who are in training. Let's clap for them. How many of us started yesterday but one, maybe Friday when the office was open? By show of hands. Hey, wow. So I welcome you, and officially I want to congratulate you for being in your first training. Now, for those of us who started about 1 year, how many of us started almost, Okata is 11 months? Yes, how many of us started 11 months ago? By show of hands. Perfect. Now, all of us who are in that bracket, I believe, have grown. You may not see it, you may see it, but I'm going to show you in this training how much you have come from where you are to where you currently are right now. So, to understand growth, you have to understand this definition here, what growth is. The G in growth, for me, I give it as goal. When you get started in network marketing, all of us have to have goals. There's something you want to achieve. If you don't get started in network marketing with a goal, chances are high that you're going to find it hard to do business because you're going to be like someone who doesn't know where. You're on the journey, but you don't know the destination. Am I speaking to someone? So today, we're going to have to become better at setting goals. The R in now growth stands for reality. Tell your neighbor reality. The reality right now is I know where your current state is. All of us have somewhere where we currently are and want to live there, right? No one wants to stay where they are. Everybody wants to live where they currently are. And for us to accept it and become one with this reality is going to make it easier for us to live it. You know, we can't escape our reality. But what you can do is you can turn it, right? And that's why the O in growth is for obstacles. Once you make peace with your reality, you're going to understand there are going to be obstacles along the path. That's why I told you, for me, I don't believe growth is straight. I don't believe growth is a straight line. I believe growth has its ups and downs. Now, it's for us who have realized in the growth process, you have to make fun or peace with your obstacles. Many of us quit when we face our first obstacle. How many of us have been rejected in network marketing? You've been rejected. By show of hands, if you're not rejected, what are you doing here in the office? How many of us have been rejected in network marketing? I only want the person who joined last week. Maybe them they have, even the person of last week has to have been rejected. True or false? Yes, if they are inviting. You know what's funny? Someone thinks at even, let me tell you a story. Yesterday I was prospecting someone. I'd been following up for the last 7 months. I've been following up this person. My first month talked to this person. The person said, don't even send that message. I know what you want to send. I tell them, what do you mean? Yeah? She says, I've seen the badge, I've seen the status, I've seen everything. Leave me alone. I said, this person, I just pretend like I didn't hear. I become deaf. When you're prospecting, I became deaf. So the person sent me the message, and then she asked me even after another month after coming back. She says, are you blind? She even highlighted the statement. You understand? Don't send me the what? Message. I became blind. Do you understand where I'm coming from? I was deaf, now I've become what? Blind. 3rd month, I tell her that now I've hit my rank. I want us to do business together. She said, congratulations, you be with your rank. I said, this person will feel me when I make money. I sent her my statement. I think that month I made like 5.2. I tell her, my dear, the month has been what? Good. If we work together, you're going to be a superstar. She says, you work alone. I said, I need to catch this person after a soft launch. We soft launched. She said, you have launched? Congratulations. You launch alone. You're seeing how I was on this person? And even last week when I texted her, she said that, I've seen you being recognized. She even commented on my status. She says, congratulations. Then I tell her, but I want us to work together. And she still says, I don't want. I tell myself that rejection is part of the what? It's part of the game. You might be thinking even the people who are successful or have made some money have not been rejected. Let me give you the bad news or the good news. Rejection is at every point in network marketing, at any stage. But understanding it shouldn't be an obstacle in your growth process, because imagine if I waited for 7 months on this person who has not joined. Would I have done business at all if I kept on waiting for her to join? My focus is waiting for her to join, waiting for her to join. I even now started convincing my mind that people are finished. Do you understand? There are some people who reach that stage. We convince our minds that the people have got what? Finished. That's why the W is important. You have to have will. Tell your neighbor, will. This willpower here, how much commitment are you ready to give this thing? Even when you have faced the obstacles, you have to have the amount of commitment that it requires for you to achieve success. Success is funny. It tests you. It says that, is this person ready? And that's why at some point, you have to have also the ability to take action. Tell anybody, take action. It's not enough to know what you have to do. It's enough to also know what you have to do and do it. Right? If you don't do it, nothing changes. You shall be among the people who we see clapping for others, and then we don't see you coming on the stage. And I want everybody to come on this stage. Do you get where I'm coming from? That's where success will start to come to you naturally. And for me, honestly speaking, you also have to have faith and believe it's possible. How many of you believe that you're going to become successful? By show of hands. Look at your neighbor, by the way. We're not prospects here. How many of you believe? If you don't have that faith, why are you in this training center? Right? How many of you believe, even God is seeing, how many of you believe you have the faith that you're going to become successful one day? I want God to see those hands and make you successful. I want it for you because without faith, nothing works. True or false? Do you know why we wake up and pray? Do you know why I wake up and pray? It's not because I don't know if God is there or not. But I have faith that He must be listening to something that I'm telling Him. Right? And even you, He must be hearing what you're saying. So without faith, friends, all these other things you may have them and then fail on this small thing, which is faith. Faith is believing what is difficult is actually possible, right? Now, we have understood what growth is, right? Now we move on as we understand what a growth mindset is. We have understood growth, but now we're understanding a growth mindset. A growth mindset in network marketing is to believe the abilities and the intelligence can be developed. I remember when I started network marketing, my struggle was inviting. I showed it to you, I told it to you here. My struggle was presenting, my struggle was inviting, my struggle was every activity in network marketing. I did not have one activity I was good at, not even by mistake. You know, you can be good at an activity by mistake because maybe you've been inviting your friends to parties and now they tell you, invite your friends to a business. Now, chances are high, even then I wasn't good at it. But what I realized was through the training system, you can become better at something. Now, for the new people, I want to tell you this. Reason why your leaders are forcing you to come for the training is not because they don't want you to be in your bed sleeping, enjoying that sleep. No. It's because they want you to learn that skill. They learned that helped them sign you up. And they made money. And they want you to also make the same money. And that's why you have to believe that these things can be taught to you. Secondly, it's embracing challenges and learning that there are opportunities for you to learn. Many of you look at a challenge and say, why God? You even start asking, why God? You start becoming negative, you start becoming annoyed. Every time someone sees you, you say, this Okata is for other people, it's not for me. And I've come to realize that the hardest thing I think I've done network marketing for 9 years, but I'll tell you for the first 1, 2, 3, I was struggling. Holes in the shoe, fixing the same suit, torn shirt after torn shirt, one necktie that I have to always sew. Do you get it? Begging my applying for transport. Even him, he didn't have transport some days. At that time, I realized that these challenges were opportunities for me to learn. Because had I kept on being focused, being challenge-oriented, I always tell people, when you're challenge-oriented, even your ability to learn becomes diminished. Because you're focused on the magnitude of the challenge rather than the solution. Right? Now, moving on, you have to be viewing your effort as a path to mastery. How many of you have been doing something over and over and you feel like it's not working? You've ever been at that stage, right? You're doing something, you feel like nothing is shifting. But ask yourself this question. The first time you made a phone call, maybe you were whispering. Maybe you were in a corner talking alone. Maybe you even entered this box here to make that phone call. You couldn't make it in a circle, the power hour. You couldn't do it in power hour. You decided to hide here. You'd always tell your upline, I'm going to drink water. And they only see you after 1 hour, after the power hour is done. Because you didn't want them to hear how you are being rejected. Right? Now, I want to tell you the good news. The good news is that effort you're putting in, you can't be the same person who started inviting and you're the same person up to now. There are some people I've seen personally with my own eyes here in this training center. I saw them come. They were a bit disorganized. They became organized. Now they have started to touch some money. And now they can hope every week they are being paid by Okata. Right? That is growth, friends. That is knowing that what you're doing is not failing. Is not working. It's actually leading you to master the what? The skill. Then, moving forward, learning from feedback and not fearing it. How many of you have ever, your upline has ever called you and told you, come here, kuja hapo, and they tell you, sit down. Then they complain about this guest you received. Maybe you hugged them, maybe even you walked down with them on the staircase, you were swinging hands, you crossed the road, you wished them, you even pecked them, you said goodbye. You understand? Then your upline said that is not posture. Before you felt you had done a good job, right? But your upline calls you and tells you that, you man, what kind of posture is this? He complains, he tells you that we kiss guests and wish them bye-bye. And then you start arguing, you say my upline hates me. That's because you look at feedback as a problem. I realized there was something, also as uplines, I want us to learn sandwich criticism, right? Don't tell your champion that she has invited, for example, she has invited, right? You yourself, you had no guest as an upline. You come and then you tell the upline, the champion, that, do you know what you have done? You've made a mistake. You shouldn't have done this. You shouldn't, you abuse them. You tell them, go back even in the closing circle. You're the same person who had no guest. You're the same person who probably, you know you have not invited the whole month. If they look for you in 3 and 30, it's like finding a needle in the grass. Do you get where I'm coming from? But this is the same champion you're abusing. Are you understanding? So before you rush to complain to someone, it's always good to understand that I want you to listen to these two statements. My dear, first come here. First come and stand here. I want you to listen to these 2 statements. Good morning. How are you? First statement is this. My dear, the other guest you invited, I want to congratulate you for inviting her. You did an amazing job, right? I believe the next time you invite her, I would love you not to cross the street with her. You can just receive her from upstairs, and then we send her off also from the same level so that she can easily know that you're busy and you're doing something else. Is that okay? Statement number 1. Statement number 2. Who is that you invited? Is that your friend? Why did you invite her like that? Why did you bring her upstairs? Eh? Do you know we don't cross the street with people? Are you okay? Go back in the closing circle. Take your seat. Statement number 2. Which message do you believe has sunk home more? Statement number 1 or statement number 2? For some leaders, fear works. Do you understand? Instilling fear in your team works. I don't believe that. For other leaders, communicating, and 90% of the time, actually 99.9% of the time, human beings listen more when communicated to well. True or false? You can have a seat. Thank you so much. Let's clap for her. She takes a seat. It's the same message, just delivered in 2 different ways. And that's why I always tell uplines, learn to have sandwich criticism. Upload the good, bring in the bad, but end with the what? The good. That's why they call it a sandwich. The bad is in the middle. The good is in the top and the bottom. You understand? Learn that today, right? Then, persisting despite obstacles. This one, I know we are very good at it, and I want to commend everybody in this building because you could have chosen to be doing something else when the business is not working. But here you are. Then, seeing success in others as inspiration. There's a leader who made me laugh in my previous company. How many of you know what they call castle in English? This bird that has this kalong thing. You know what they call that bird in English? I don't know, but you've understood it. Eh? That bird that has that long thing. They call it what in Luganda? Kaloli, rather, not castle, kaloli. Now, funny enough, we had a recognition where one of our top leaders was recognized. And we weren't recognized. And then, funny enough, I was clapping, I was excited, because I've seen the person work. You understand? And then the company has recognized this person for the work the person has put in. Now, funny enough, I was seated in that audience, clapping for that person as they were recognizing the person. This guy, my God, the guy said, now look at the guy's shoe. The guy's shoe is not even that one of money. They are saying he has made a... He looked at every small problem on this person. I want to tell you, friends, one of the things you should never have in network marketing is envy. Tell your neighbor, envy. Say it with a big chest. Say it when your chest is out. Say envy. Envy. The moment you become envious in network marketing, that's the beginning of your downfall. I have never at one point been envious at network marketing for anybody. Crossline, upline, downline, whatever the case. Do you know why? The moment you do that, you're blocking God's blessing towards you. Your time will come. Do you understand? There is no cement, there is no concrete that won't be on this stage to remove a person so that you can one day take the stage also. The stage instead in network marketing grows even bigger. Today they will have top 20, they'll even have top 30, tomorrow they'll have top 50, tomorrow they'll even have top 100, who knows, right? But all you should always tell yourself is your time will come. I want you to imagine in the scenario that you sponsor a top 1 earner in the company and you're the upline and you're not even in top even 100. The biggest thing you should be is excited to know that your business has grown to the point that you have one leg as a stable leg because that is the top 1 earner in that company. But if you have a minute, or I call it a micro mind, you become jealous of this person becoming successful, and that's the worst thing you can do. Never ever become jealous of your own business. Even if it's not your business, never become jealous of another person's what? Success. Because if anything, that success should confirm to you that it's actually possible. Ask yourself that person, how bad were they before even they got this success? Maybe they were making the phone calls like you and they were also being rejected. Maybe they were talking to people and they were not seeing people joining. Now that they have found something that works, rather than being envious and jealous, you should ask them what are they doing that's working for them. But an envious heart will not allow you to ask that. An envious heart will make you look at this person as competition. Rather than learning, you're competing. Before you know it, you've lost the what? Lost it. Network marketing. Moving on. Now, consistently striving to improve and grow. This is very important. And the last point here now is why it matters in network marketing. Let me tell you why a growth mindset matters in network marketing. The first thing is a growth mindset will help you handle rejections and objections. I want you to imagine if that person I was following up for 7 months. For how many months? 7 months. And if that person I got rejected constantly and kept on quitting every time that person rejected me, that's bad. But having understood that it's part of the business that we're in, it will help you understand that rejection is meant to become like daily bread. If the daily bread doesn't reach your table, pray that it reaches your table tomorrow. Now, moving on, why you need to have a growth mindset, it will help you keep learning new sales strategies. The one that you used in your previous company, or last month but one, may not be the same strategy that may take you to the next level. How many of us have done network marketing before? By show of hands. I want us to put up our hands high. I want to talk to that person. And also the other person. How many people have done network marketing? This is not your first network marketing company. By show of hands, people. I'm seeing some people who have done network marketing, their hands are down. How many people have done network marketing? This is not your first company. Let me tell you something. The good news is you're going to become successful. The bad news is that you don't have the same strategy that made you successful in a previous company can't be the same strategy that makes you successful. You have to edit it a bit. You can do the same thing, but in a different way. Do you understand? It can be the same thing, just in a different way. And do you know why we say in a different way? Because network marketing is evolving. It changes. Before, none of us would be on TikTok. None of us, I'm telling you for a fact, none of us even want to be there. Some of us don't even want that app. But funny enough, even our CEO is training there. How many of us have gone ahead and followed him on that page? He's training there. He's interacting with you. YouTube, these trainings are happening. Our CEO takes time and does all the training. You ask yourself, how should I invite? Go on YouTube, type, you're going to find Mr. Elias Moores. He's going to show you how he invited, tell you what he said, and then you say it, you become successful, and then you realize that, oh, there's a strategy out there I didn't know. Simply because you've had a growth mindset. Now it keeps you motivated during the hard times. Growth is very important because in the hard times, which are many in network marketing, by the way, it's important to have a growth mindset. Build your resilience when teams underperform. This one, I know it's for the leaders. There is a time in your business when your business may feel stagnant a bit. You don't have to give up. You don't have to blame the team. Many of us rush to do this. Rather than looking inward, we look outward, what's surrounding us. You call your whole team, you tell them, you call a meeting. Uplines, we are good at meetings. We call for team meetings. We organize, before we abuse and complain, we even first give you snacks and tea. Huh? Then we abuse and we complain. Then we say you're not doing this and the other one. But at some point, you have to understand that your team is building their resilience. They are fighting through obstacles. Nobody is here. I don't believe there's anyone here who has come to relax. Is there anyone who has come to relax here? You could do that at all, right? But everybody who has sacrificed time to come here has come because they are hopeful, one, to make money, two, they are pushing. So if everyone is pushing, it means their time is bound to come. They're just building their resilience. Then the other thing, it inspires your downline through your mindset. Now this one, I want to teach you that a growth mindset will inspire your downline. When you're in that time of struggle and they see you still excited, a good example, I don't want to be biased, but a good example because I've seen him and I know him quite personally, is a friend of mine, Mr. Dennis Tumushime. This gentleman, you'll never know when he's making money or he's not making money. He'll always be excited, he'll always be happy, he'll always be pushing, and you'll never ever know until he tells you maybe. Right? I want you to borrow that growth mindset. Understanding that your business is reliant on your excitement, your energy, and I want you to imagine the leader who's at his highest excitement. His sale, all of them are mainly excited. Have you ever seen it happen? But the leader who's always low and down, chances are high he doesn't even have a sale anymore. True or false? It has happened in network marketing. Now, opens the door to creative problem solving. I want us to focus more on the solution, and this can only happen with a growth mindset. It goes ahead and drives consistency in daily action. Now, take note, the key word is daily action. Chances are high in network marketing without a growth mindset, you're going to leave your business to hope. And hope is not a strategy. I always keep telling people, hope can never be a strategy. So, we move on. Fixed versus growth mindset. Some of the things you're going to see here, I know we're already experiencing them. I know we are victims to them, but don't take it personal, just take it as a learning curve. The first fixed mindset is this one. I'm not good at recruiting. How many of you ever made this statement? Okay, don't put up your hands. I know someone has made it silent. I told my upline in my first month when I got started that I don't think inviting and sponsoring is for me. I think I'm more focused on selling the products. And I realized it because I made a conclusion that I didn't have friends who could afford maybe 550,000. You understand? Maybe 1.650, 3.3, 5.5. I made a conclusion that I don't have friends who can afford that money. So I realized rather than looking for how I could get better, I focused on this one. I'm not good at what? Because my mindset was what? Fixed. With a fixed mindset, you can't convince yourself anything. Because you've concluded, you've made assumptions, and you've made a final verdict. That this is the position I'm in. But a growth mindset will say, I'm not good at recruiting. Who's good at recruiting? They post people here, 3 in 30, 5 in 30, 6 in 30. Ask yourself, that month, the person who was in 6 in 30, chances are always high, I try to reach out to the ones I know. I tell them that, this month you've really done it, bro. How are you sponsoring? Who are you talking to? Do you understand? And when I realize what they're doing, I say, maybe I'm not doing this. Let me try it. And that's why a growth mindset is key. Because a growth mindset will have you asking that question of how can I do it better, right? And then another common question here, or another fixed mindset, is I failed. And the growth person will say, I learned something of value. I used to see every recognition pass me, and I'm not recognized, and I would look at myself as a failure. But then I would ask myself this question: how many people would want to earn that income I earned last month? Maybe there's someone who has not yet made that money. Why am I being ungrateful? I think there's a lesson to be learned. When you lose a position, when you lose a rank, when you lose this, when you do this, these are the questions I ask myself. Before I rush to complain, I ask myself, have I learned something of value? If the question is yes, if the answer to that question is yes, I tap myself on the back and then say, let's try again tomorrow. I don't know if you've ever faced this in your business, but it has happened to me. There are times when I've done something in my business and it doesn't work, and I feel disappointed, and I start to realize that there's something wrong with me. And before I reach in that stage when I enter this depression zone, you know this depression zone? For the leaders I trained you and I told you it's the hippo stage. There's a hippo and the ego. The ego is always up there. For him, he sees everything like a map. Because he's at the peak, he's at the top. The hippo, you've ever seen it in National Geographic, it's seated in mud. It's just rolling. It's actually floating on water. It's lazy, it's tired. For it has already given up. That's what John C. Maxwell said in the book of 12 Indisputable Laws of Leadership. He says there's a hippo and there's an ego. Some of us enter that hippo stage. We get depressed when things are not working. We start feeling the center is far. We start feeling the phone call is hard. We give up before our time. Rather than finding new strategies, you give up before your time. And I want to assure you that every lesson is one to learn. Every stage in your business is a learning stage. Even success can be a downfall. Don't think that becoming successful, you're not facing any obstacles. No. There are so many obstacles. Actually, it's when you're at the top there that you realize that, hey, all these were the problems. You even not go back down. You get where I'm coming from? Now, this is where also you have to have that thing of these people are not naturally good. Don't start saying it like that. I want us to stop looking at these people are being recognized and then say, you start giving them attributes they don't have. Other one is successful because she can even sell the rosary to the Pope. How? You start saying she can sell a dead cow. She can convince even the Pope that he can convert to Islam. Are you seeing where I'm coming from? You start giving the people who are winning, you start giving them very many reasons why they are winning. Rather than telling yourself that also me, I can develop those skills. Also me, I can do this. I'll tell you for a fact. At the platinum level, we all have to develop a leg that is developing 4,000 points for it to requalify as a platinum. I wondered how people were selling products. I really admired that people were selling products. I kept on disturbing Farida, kept on bothering her, kept on looking at her social media, asking myself what the people are doing, who are selling products are doing differently from me. I thank God. Tell me about, clap for Okata Wellness Solutions. Let's clap for Okata. Are we using those flyers that Okata gives us as free flyers for marketing material? Are we using them? Friends, are we using them properly? Let me tell you a story. I went to a bank when I was banking money, and before I banked money, I decided to first put this flyer on the table of the lady. I asked her, Madam, every month I bank your money. I give you money, you don't give me what? Money. Today, one of us has to give each other what? Money. And this is how you're going to give me money. I showed her this flyer has all our special products of our company. And I want you to try one. If you regret it, cut it from the money I give you. Do you get it? I said it with confidence because I knew our products are highly tested, proven, and they are working. She's been struggling with pressure. I know this because she has diabetes. She's struggling with pressure. For the diabetic people, you know that thing they put on someone's hand where they inject insulin? She has it. I saw it in the bank. I said, this one has to buy my products. I talked about a client who I never had, who had pressure and these products and diabetes, and helped her. Kumbe, there was someone who posted, I started looking at Cat Africa champions, diabetes, I typed diabetes. Someone had posted a testimony of diabetes. I said, this is my customer. It's these testimonies are our testimonies. Are they for anyone? No, they are our testimonies. I said, this is my client. Are you seeing? Her diabetes, I was shocked. The diabetes went from 12 to 7. How was on insulin? She's already at 14. So I said, wow. And she also said, wow. I told her that I will give you a very good discount. A very good discount when you purchase all these 3 products at once. Next thing I know, she tells me, bring them for me next week. I come to the bank. She didn't call me. I called her. She didn't pick. I said she's lying. I went to the bank, collected my products. Before I banked the money, I told her, I've deducted the money for the products that you sent me for. Huh? And she said, actually, I was going to tell you. I said, I actually already did it. I placed your order. You told me find you next week on when? Monday. Then she said, it's okay. Let me top up and then you finish. Chances are high she wanted to think about it. She wanted to change her mind. But at the end of the day, friends, this marketing material Kata is giving you, I want you to use it. I want you to use it as much as possible. Don't be given these flyers and think the company doesn't have what to do with papers. Understand the company is trying to tell you, go out there and market your product, go out there and market your business. Chances are when you sit here and you do nothing about your business doesn't shift. But when you do something, you're going to see the difference. I'll give you the good news. Her pressure reduced and her diabetes. Today she's a member. She joined the business. Do you understand? And before I know it, she started even sponsoring her first people. She was excited. She's doing it part-time. But the challenge is we are looking at our flyers, our material, and we are seated waiting for a miracle to happen. I want to tell you, friends, that nothing will happen unless you do what? Something. Fixed mindset avoids feedback, while a growth mindset seeks feedback to improve. A growth mindset will never look at feedback as a problem. They look at it as something they need to change, something they need to work on. A fixed mindset gives up so easily. You talk to one person and then say, my people are finished. How many of you have ever met that leader in network marketing? They talk to 10 people, you told them write a name list. The name list has 10 people, they talk to the 10. One say that they are thinking about it, the other 9 said no. Then they say, all my people are what? Finished. I want to tell you this, that the people are not finished. I want to give you the current statistics. For every 2 people born to 3 people born every day, 1 person is dying, another 3 people are being born. So those are 3 new downlines that you have. Well, you have lost 1 new downline. You've lost 1 downline, but you've got 3 new downlines. Have you made sense of that? Yes. Now, a fixed mindset will be threatened by success. A growth mindset will find lessons in the success. Even when you're successful, you have to find the lessons, the things you did. There are things you must have done. Friends, there are things we are doing subconsciously or unknowingly that are working for us that we don't know. And then you keep on asking yourselves what the strategy is. Yet the strategy is there. All the answers are there. You just have to go an extra mile. You have to go an extra mile and use those answers. Then, a fixed mindset blames others A growth mindset takes responsibility. I was a victim of this. I don't want you to be a victim of it. A fixed mindset will blame every form of failure on your upline. I told you my story in network marketing. When my people didn't join, I called them, invited them, they went upstairs. In my previous company, they went upstairs, they attended a presentation. I waited for them downstairs. I didn't see them coming with a Kavera. I called immediately my upline. I'll tell him that, you man, what were you doing? You spent with them 1 hour and 30 minutes and they haven't paid. I started to even think it's his job to close my prospects. While a growth mindset, who I should have been back then, should have taken responsibility to learn these skills. In network marketing, the skills we're avoiding is the money we're running away from. The more you dodge those skills, the more you delegate, the more your upline presents to you. It's the reason your upline is making the money and we're still waiting for the money to come. Because he's the one who's presenting. He's the one who's drawing the circles. He's the one who's learning the activities. He's the one who's perfecting his craft. But if you don't perfect it with him, it may be difficult for you to grow. But I want us to become different, right? Are we going to be different?
Yes.
Okay. Now, moving forward, how do you develop this growth mindset? There are some habits you have to learn. The first one is the self-talk. Tell me about self-talk. Mr. Juma did an amazing job. Our CEO has done an amazing job to make us say this self-talk every day. I want to tell you something. You see these words you're saying subconsciously, they are going to happen. You're going to one day say these words until you start to achieve these things that you're saying. So don't take the self-talk lightly, right? Then, setting goals, not just for income, but also for growth. Many of us say we want to make maybe 5 million Ugandan shillings a month. But ask yourself, the habits you have now, are they those of people who are making 5 million Ugandan shillings? Do you get it? Our top one distributor, funny enough, she traveled to the village. Immediately she came back in the village in the middle of the night. I saw her packing. She put her head for 1 hour to 2 hours on the pillow. Next thing I know, she's up. She's going to Masindi. And then tomorrow someone will say, that leader was lucky. Does that make sense? Friends, if you want 100 million in network marketing, you have to have the habits of a person who has made 100 million Ugandan shillings. And it starts with our goals. You can't set a goal. Don't mind, sometimes we set a goal that's also far-fetched. Uplines, when we're doing our jobs, let's help our champions set goals that are realistic. Learn to help them achieve the realistic goals. It triggers their mindset. Then you can't set a goal of driving a car in your first month in network. It's possible, but I mean, if you've never done network marketing and you set that goal, you have to have some kind of work ethic that is unbelievable. But I want us to be also realistic when we're setting these goals, right? It's possible to achieve them, but let us understand there's a process behind achieving them. Once you understand the process, by the way, this is what this statement means. When you understand the process, you will not just write down income goals. You will not be that person who says, how much do you want to make? You know, I usually ask someone in my NDO, how much do you want to make and you consider is a good month if you have made this money? You start to understand where your prospect's mind is. The lady who I told you I just sponsored from the bank, she told me, if I can make, because I've seen your bank statement, if I can make 1 million, how much? 1 million. In my first month, I don't know, it's a good month. I asked her how much she was currently making. She told me. Then I asked her, what are the activities you do at work, by the way, to make that money? She told me activities. And the only day she's free, and even she's free half day, is a Sunday. Is when? Sunday. And she's free half day because she also has to work in the morning to create the report for Monday. Do you get where I'm coming from? So meaning she works half day on Sunday and she's free only on Sunday. So the big question was, how much time, this was my second question, how much time do you want to give Okata? And she told me that, as you have heard, my program is so tight, maybe I can do it every Sunday in the evening, then I can do it like a Wednesday when I leave work early on around 9, 8. Is that okay? And then I told her, and you want to make 1 million? I said, okay. And then I showed her the number of people probably she has to sponsor to make 1 million, or products she has to sell to make 1 million, or build a team to make the 1 million. Then she said, I think this thing is hard. I said, no, it's not hard. It's not hard because I've done it. What is hard is the time you want to give this. If you want to make 1 million, you have to have time for a person who wants to make 1 million. Our time, you can't want one income and not give it you understand, a specific time. Because at your workplace, you're giving the business there almost 14 hours of your day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 14 hours of your day to earn less than what you've just told me. Do you get where I'm coming from? After showing her that, that's now when we developed our income goal. Are you seeing how an income goal comes? Don't just say that I want to make 1 million. How? Where? What are you going to do to make 1 million? Do you understand what it takes to make that 1 million? If so, then you can write it down. Are you understanding? Because 1 million is 12 starters or more, of which you have to have sponsored half. Do you get where I'm coming from? So that is 1 million. Or another person can shift the goal and say he wants to aim for 5 or 6 deluxes. That's also another 1 million. So it's about understanding your business. Understand your business, you understand your goals. Have you understood something? Or we are confused? Are you confused? Okay. I hope that point has sunk home, right? Now, moving forward, reflect on what you have learned each day as a learning experience. I'm not using this lady so much as an example. I believe she's watching this live, so I believe it will go home. Now, why am I using her is because I want to show you what a new person is going through. She went and she gave a observation of Omega, because she's using Omega. She opened Omega, it has a soft gel. She said all the products are like this. I had not told her that. And she also didn't know because she didn't open the other bottles. Right? Now, when her client realized he can just burst Omega, he wanted muscle bone care. Do you understand where I'm coming from? For his paining back. So when he knew that with Omega you can either just swallow or you can choose to squeeze it in your mouth and consume it, he said this can work for me. He mentioned and said, I'm not so good at tablets. That's the statement he made. I'm not so good at what? Tablets. Funny enough, she didn't hear that part, or she might have heard it and assumed all the other products are designed like the way Omega is designed. But on her dismay, her client takes a picture, sends her, and says, I want my money back. What did you do at that stage? The product's open, client wants their money back, and you already convinced the client all the products look like Omega. Now, first things first, I told her, you've not done anything wrong. The first thing was to calm her down. I told her, you've not done anything wrong. I want you to look at this as an experience for you to learn. I told her the first thing you should have done was inquire. I want to congratulate you for making the sale, but I also want to encourage you next time before you make a sale of a product, we inquire usually. And as a person, I want to just tell you that yes, it's a tablet, because I got my phone and told the gentleman, yes, it's a tablet. Yes, I know you've paid 115,000 for the product. Now, two things are here. We can't return back that product because products once sold are non-refundable or non-returnable. Worst case scenario, it's already opened. But what I can do for you is to show you how you can consume these products and get better results. You can crush it, mix minimal water, very minimal water on a spoon, then consume it. Are you ready to give that a try? He said yes. Because the muscle bone care is like a charcoal tablet. I prefer, if you want to get better results for your clients, advise them to chew it. Right? If they chew the muscle bone care, it will give them better results. Right? That's what I've learned. From the clients I've told to chew, they have got better results. Right? So that's another tip I can give you for free. Now, when he saw it crushed and he could consume it, he felt comfortable. He said, I think let me give this a try. And he used the product and he didn't require a back refund. And his back pains kind of reduced. He's not swallowing headaches, because you swallow headaches so much, 3 times a day. You could imagine he wanted to go all the way to this diaphragm. I don't know this medicine they use for pain. Dynapa, is it? Yes, something like that, but Dynapa, I think. I don't know if you've ever seen it. Yes, he even has the bottle that you spray. There's a spray. So he applies it and he massages him on his back because of his back pain. Now, imagine he was swallowing those 3 times a day and even using that spray. That was madness. His liver was about what? Now this is why you bring liver care. I even told him that your liver might be having issues. Why don't you do a test and first see? And he did. He found out his liver was having what? Issues. And that's when he came back to buy liver care together with the muscle bone care. 1 cell can bring you 5. Ladies and gentlemen, 1 cell can bring you how many? 5. If you give your client time. Now, moving on. Celebrate the small wins and progresses. This was something I learned from my previous upline. When this lady sponsored her first person, we didn't go for pizza because I used to go for pizza with my people when they sponsor until I realized my buttons were not fitting. And now, we decided to go for tea, right? We went for tea, we celebrated, I congratulated her for sponsoring her first person. We were excited. I said, now, this feeling, I told her, this feeling, I want you to feel it, and I want you to continue feeling it all the time, because this feeling comes with money. And that's when she got excited. Now she's doing the activities passionately. Imagine the person who told me she would do it Wednesday and some Sundays is doing it every day after 7 p.m. She's the one adding people in the group. I said, all along you've been having people. She said, even me, I didn't know that I had people. Do you understand? That's why it's important to give people, don't skip the duplication process in the new distributor orientation. I want to thank our CEO. He's coming up with a new distributor orientation program. I want you guys to fall in love with that program. It's going to make you rich. Surround yourself with others who have a growth mindset. This is very important. Read personal development books, track your habits, but most importantly, leading your team with a growth mindset. There are some people whose teams are complaining. I want you to understand encouraging questions and learning curves. Learn to encourage people to ask these questions. Some of you want to keep your downlines green about the system. We talk about these ways of earning. A person doesn't even know the car fund. A person doesn't know stair step. You want to keep them green. Share your own growth. One of the things I've done so well with my leaders is whenever we are inside, sometimes in that room, it's funny how we keep sharing stories. We share stories, and then I remember the story our top 2, Hamson, shared, how he dived on a border with our top 3 to cross the border of DRC. They covered themselves with the clothes on borders, dust had eaten them. Imagine. And then you come and say that person was lucky. Am I speaking to someone? Recognize effort and not just outcomes. Understand that even the effort someone is putting in, one day will lead to something. You know, some of the people here work harder than anyone. I know. I've seen guys make phone calls. At 8 p.m. they're downstairs making phone calls. The one thing I admire, and I want you to clap for all of yourselves, clap for yourselves, clap for yourselves. If your upline hasn't told you this, let me tell it to you. I admire the way you people work. I have left usually late, and I find people still making phone calls in that down basement. At night, I ask myself, who are they calling? But they are calling. Do you understand? Someone is inviting. Some people may even get tired. You know, people are tired at evening time. They don't even want to hear opportunity calls, but you call them. And I'm like, wow. And tomorrow we see the hall full, and I even be like, wow. And that's one of the things I admire so much about our Kata distributors, their work ethic. Clap for yourselves, ladies and gentlemen. Wonderful. Train your team to embrace challenges, celebrate the team progress as lessons. This one I've already talked about. Lead with optimism and resilience. Don't tell your team the bad things all the time. Tell them the good things that can come. Be that leader that speaks about the future, right? Then practice growth strategies. Network marketing, learn from the top performers. I told you, I struggled so much with selling products, but I managed to get time and disturb a lot. I disturb a lot. Frida, if she was here, she would tell you. I disturb a lot. Asking questions, always. The other person I disturb, who I want all of us to clap for, by the way. Clap for the country manager, friends. Clap for the country manager. The country manager is paid nothing extra for coming up with that information he comes up to give you. And in fact, if the CEO was seeing this live, you should even give him a bonus. Because the gentleman sits on his laptop to come up with information. He always responds to my message. I ask him dosage, I ask him this, I ask him the other one. Before you know it, you're making a sale. How many of you have ever caught your profit like this and given a country manager? How many of you? His birthday just passed. Why may I gifted him on his birthday? Is because he has done so much to increase my sales. He has done so much, tell your neighbor, so much to increase our sales. The information, the recordings, the trainings. Do you know why we have slides on the dashboard? Because of also our product team. Clap for those people. Clap for those people. Dr. Eli, Dr. Ed, Edmond, Mr. Derek, there are so many people who are seated making those information for you. And they are paid. They pay them for this information. You are getting it for free. Clap for Kata, ladies and gentlemen. Focusing on getting accountability partners, this one is important. Learn to each know is a learning point. Improve and focus on your areas of weakness. Attend events. How many of us have bought our ticket events? How many of us have bought ticket events? Friends, the time is coming. The time is what? Coming. I want us to practice our growth mindset, common growth mindset traps, comparing your journey with others. If someone in his first month has sponsored 10 people, your month will come when you'll also sponsor 10 people. Stop comparing. Comparison is the theft of joy, right? Expecting overnight success, this one is impossible. I told you 3 years, of my 9 years of network marketing, 3 of them were tough. 3 of them made me want to cry. Actually, I cried. You understand? 3 of them. 3 of them I had holes in the shoe. 3 of them I wasn't making money. 3 of them I was there asking my mother whether there are still jobs in Kampala. Because network marketing had refused. Am I speaking to someone? But I told myself, every top earner is saying they were in business for 7 years, 6 years. I said, let me work and wait. If year 7 is not like this, then I'll quit. Do you understand? Then I'll have confirmed. If I've worked and year 7 hasn't changed, there I think I deserve a certificate for quitting. But at that point, before then, I need you to understand that there were many years. These people you see on stage, some of them have those invisible years. Tell me by invisible years. That you cannot see, that are not added on Okata's timeline. But they were there as learning lessons for most of them. Right? There's no overnight success. Taking failure personally, you don't want to be emotional about failure. Then, call to action. How many of us have 90-day game plans? How many of us have 90-day game plans? How many of us have 90-day game plans? I want you to get those 90-day game plans. throw them in the dustbin, and have a 5-year to 10-year game plan. Tell your neighbor 5-year to 10 years. Tell your neighbor 5 years to 10 years. I don't believe you can become successful in 90 days. That's why I'm saying you throw it in the dustbin. I don't believe you can cement success in 90 days. But I promise you, in 5 years, you can become successful. This one, even if I swallow a pin, I can tell it to you. In 5 years, you can become successful. All you need is just one of those 5 to become super successful. Now, I want to teach your teams about this growth mindset. I want you to commit to personal development, and I want you to learn to track your progress. How many of us have that first check in the first month from Okata? How many of you have it? I be proud about my 3.6. I am the proudest person. You can't convince me anything. Was that 3.6 we made on the cashmere party? How many of us have that first month check? I want to ask that question. How many of us have it? You have that screenshot you made, your first money. I want you to keep it somewhere. One day, you're going to become successful. You'll post that I once made also 300,000. Do you remember that? Me, I saw that by then it was 77,000. I saw that 77,000. The first day they registered my first person, I took a screenshot. I was like, wow. Do you get where I'm coming from? I was excited. Super excited. It's like it was 77 million. At that time, I knew if 77,000 is the business, also 77 million is in the same business. And it can happen. Now, this we've talked about, but I want to leave you with this statement, friends. This is the quote I want to leave you for today. Understanding that success in network marketing is not an accident. No one is given this success like a lottery ticket. Have you ever seen those guys who win a lottery ticket? The ones who they say drive a border while scratch airtime and then you win. Here in network marketing, there's no scratching airtime. Here in network marketing, there's no drink a soda, you open the penny. No. It's not here in network marketing. If you're going to swallow tablets and you check under the bottle, there's nothing. There is nothing. There's no raffle draw. In the anniversary, there's no car they're giving. I want to tell you, friends, there's no success by what? Accident. It's always, you wake up one day, you say enough is enough, and then you just decide. I was tired of also eating Chukomando. Do you know how much I got ulcers because of Chukomando? The Chukumi guy who was there when we were working in our previous office, he would even know your order before you come. Because he knows you're coming. I told this guy I'm no longer his friend, even had my WhatsApp number. I said I'm tired. How? He would tell me tomorrow, boss. I'd be like, what are you saying? I said enough is what? Enough. Why should the Chukomando guy have my WhatsApp number? Why does it also Javas text me? Do you get it? Just decide. Just do what? Decide. You can become someone or somebody tomorrow. And it starts with this one, a choice. But as you're choosing, you have to choose growth every day. Choose that today you left at 1%, tomorrow you're going to leave at 2. 2 is going to become 3. 3 is going to become 4. 4 is going to become 5 until one day when you also reach 100. I'm waiting for that day a person becomes a diamond global leader, a person maxes a diamond earning, and that person is in this room. True or false? Those are not people who call. Even you is now saying applying. Now we have talked about growth mindset. This one is saying applying. No. How we have not yet become a brass, and now you want me to become diamond? We have talked about growth mindset. I am so sure the next diamond is where? You here is where? Someone has said Budo House. I'm so sure the next diamond is where? You said Budo House. I tell you, Budo House level 3 here in my chair with your name. You can even say your name. Do you understand where I'm coming from? Yes. The next diamond is who? Now I'm hearing names. You understand? Now because when they're giving you the diamond card check, they have to put a name. They're not going to put Buddha House level 3 or level 2. They're going to put a name. They're going to say Mugisha Juma. Do you understand where I'm coming from? Do you get it? So the next diamond is where? The next diamond is who? The next diamond is who? I want to confirm that your next diamond, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for attending this training. I want you to begin this Monday with that same excitement. Our CEO is going to close our presentation. If you have not invited, if you've never been excited, when the gentleman comes, walks, clap for every speaker who steps on our stage. Are we going to do that from now on? Yes. This is a Monday. I want to hear those of YMCA know that we have Okata Wellness Solutions. Are we going to hear that today? Yes. I strongly believe with God by our side, we can achieve anything we want. And I want to say this one more time. The event happening in July. When? July. That event, friends, is too crucial for us to miss. Missing it is like missing the blessing of God and Him blessing your business. Imagine you're going to see delegates coming. You know how it's going to start? It's going to become like a movie. You're going to see delegates coming. People you're going to see coming, they're going to be talking different languages. Someone's going to say bonjour to you. They may think you're French. You reply Jevareko, and then you're going to be like, what are you talking about? Do you understand where I'm coming from? And then I'm going to say Habari, and then you're going to say Muzuri, as if you know Swahili. You're going to reply with that confidence. That's when you're going to know the event is happening. People like last-minute tickets. I want to assure you that last-minute tickets are not going to be sold. The company has a number. They have a target. They want people to receive a premium quality service. Not the other time when we were seated like confused people. No. This time we're seated on special tables. We're seated with buffet. How many of you want to eat until you become 60 kgs plus? I bet show of hands. The stream tone. Don't fear. I am so sure that that event you're going to eat breakfast, brunch, lunch, and even you can take takeaway if you want. But it begins with buying the ticket. Friends, this is not any other ordinary event for any other ordinary company. This is the first year of Okata Wellness Solutions. A company that has come to change network marketing. A company that has come to leave us not the same. And then you don't have a ticket. I bought mine the moment they said you can buy from the system. I just, bought. I want you to do the same. You can press *185 hash, pay for the ticket. We celebrate you, then make a flyer. Were they making flyers in the previous event? They were not. This is how serious this event is. People are going to be seated like VVIPs. This is going to be the red carpet of red carpets. Friends, go back home, save money, start paying for it in bits. I know a champion who has been paying for, he has been depositing 10K every week. He's just left with 30,000. Tell your neighbor 30,000. This guy is 30,000 away from a ticket. When he buys it, he even told me upline, if they don't put my picture, I don't know what's going to happen. He may end up running away. He needs this picture as soon as when? Today. So friends, I want to congratulate you. I want to say that it's time to invite massively for our Monday session, and let's meet at the top where there's no jump. Thank you so much, friends.